how is 2024 going for me and Krista? What was it like getting Mobrium's first customers? Find out in this episode, part 2 of our Building Mobrium series, where we share the raw story of what it's like building a tech company as husband and wife co-founders.
Hey there, I'm Crista Vance, entrepreneur and operations leader.
And I'm Matt Vance, award-winning author and social innovation researcher. We're your hosts of the Culture Profit Podcast.
Your place for purposeful company culture strategy.
Learn from HR pros, executives, and thought leaders how to prioritize profits by prioritizing people.
This episode is sponsored by Mobrium, the best friend of forward-thinking HR leaders, helping you strengthen your employer reputation as a reflection of your real culture.
Learn more at mobrium.com.
Well, it's been 5 months since episode 20 when we recorded episode 1 of this ongoing story of building Mobrium. Every 10th episode, we're giving you raw updates on our story of building a tech startup as husband and wife. So we want to start up first with some life updates.
A lot has happened in the last little bit. I had knee surgery, so that was fun.
That was back in January.
Yep, tore my meniscus playing basketball at church, not at church, in the church building, playing basketball with some guys. But yeah.
And about a month later, I broke my toe. No surgery with that one. Followed by Zach. He actually had 2 surgeries.
That's our son.
Yes, he's our
almost
youngest, our
8
fifth
months
child. So he had a cleft lip repair, and then a week later he had a hernia repair. So poor guy, he was struggling there for a few weeks, but all went really well. And we are glad to get a couple of those things checked off, and he'll be having another surgery this fall in September for his palate.
So how many doctor visits has he had to date?
I need to update our list, but we're well over 60, so it's been a lot.
Yeah, we've learned a lot from him and our other kids. We've got 5 kids from age 9 all the way down to Zach at 8 months old, and it's been a pretty special experience having him in our family, and a little crazy at times going through some of this stuff, but very grateful that he's here.
Yes. About a couple weeks before his first surgery, we actually decided to build a kind of a ninja course in our basement. It was kind of me prompting it. I have a goal this year to be able to do 1 pull-up. I know that's not as impressive as a lot of things, but for me, it's a big thing. And I just was like, okay, if I'm going to do this goal, I need to have a bar that I can work on it. And then that turned into making it a whole kids thing with monkey bars. And now we have tons of things the kids can swing on. And Matt whipped that one out in just a few days. And then we got carpet the next week, and we ended up just redoing a whole room for it. So
yeah. So this was crazy. The living room, kids' room downstairs. And I got 2 2x4s, 12-inch lengths, and basically made a monkey bar with 10 rungs across, spaced 18 inches. If anybody's curious, there's a range of acceptable spacing for monkey bars, standardized playground distances, and just bolted those into the I-beams from the ceiling. It almost killed my drill. It was smoking putting that thing in, but it was a fun little project to put that up, and then put some super heavy duty eye hooks on there for the different little pull-up bar things, and a little ladder. And I mean, it was like a budget playground inside. I think it was like $350 for all of the supplies to put that in, and the kids have definitely enjoyed it. So yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, and in case you're wondering, I still am not able to do a real full pull-up, but I'm working there. So
getting close.
What have we been up to with Mobrium? So, first couple years, we're not quite to the 2-year mark of this journey, but I think as people are pretty aware of, startups can be tricky. They can be a lot of up and downs emotionally, and money is always tricky when you're investing a lot in a business. But I would say the main thing we've learned this last year is that sales cure all ills. And when we were kind of figuring out, like, how can we make this business successful, that's what it came back to, is that we needed money to fuel it. And that was advice that we got from several people who were either part of their own startups and saw success, or have done many companies, and that's what it's come back to. And as soon as we placed our focus in sales, that's when we really started to see some major growth.
Yeah. And we've changed our sales approach dramatically since starting that process a little over a year ago. So we officially were fully committed into this endeavor as of September 2022. So yeah, we're coming up on the 2-year mark, but the software took a little bit to get up in the first iteration to where it was actually sellable. And so there was a little bit of a interesting time frame where I was trying to sell, but it wasn't up yet.
Didn't have a product to sell yet. So
exactly. And so we worked on, as much preparation as we could, and some different things that would help us be ready, and some contract work, some other project related work. But then once it was live, just a little over a year ago, it was go time. And I look back at some of our early slide decks, and it's crazy that, we got customers signed up because they were kind of, they just weren't as good. But I guess that's what you should expect, because you
always
should be
improving,
getting better.
Always improving. That's right. And this is a new space. Mobrium is selling something that hasn't been sold before. And as a reminder for those who didn't see our last episode together, why don't you give them a little?
So Mobrium helps companies win on sites like Glassdoor, Indeed, Comparably, and InHerSite. We help companies better systemize asking for reviews. When a company asks for a Glassdoor review, like the HR department sends out that review request, there's an innate conflict of interest, right? That employee opens that up and says, did they send this to anybody else? Am I being targeted? Am I at risk of retaliation or discrimination? Are they going to know that review that's posted tomorrow is from me? But Mobrium, acting as the trusted third party, sends that review request in your behalf. And we do that via automated and algorithmically scheduled and spaced emails. So there's constantly review requests going out to your employees on an ongoing basis, so that you can feed those platforms with ongoing reviews, but so you can see what people are saying on an ongoing basis. And so, there's more to it. Essentially, the methodology of our software is founded upon a decade of research from my book.
Companies.
Yep, we've done this before. This isn't our first rodeo. However, we've seen it work so well and be worth the investment on a higher dollar commitment on a more manual contract basis, that we wanted to make it more cost effective and more streamlined with technology, which is why we wanted to build a platform to do this. So
there are many companies out there that aren't even managing their reputation or managing their online reviews on Glassdoor, Indeed, and Comparably. And so this is a way to get into that amazing advantages that it offers without putting in a ton of work and time. So anyways, it's been exciting. We've learned a lot. We have really made our sales process more efficient, and we've also been able to really get after our Mobrium Gives Back program. And that's something that I've kind of headed up here. And it seems like so far we have a lot of our customers that are saving up their points. What we have is we give
Wait, how did they earn points?
We're just gonna tell them that. So you can every customer, they get a point per month or a credit, and then you can keep earning points month to month and spend it at that time, or you can spend it immediately. But we have several different options of things that you can purchase or use your credits for to make somebody's life better in this world. So, and we partner with Church World Service, and they have several different things that benefit the lives of families and individuals in our worlds. And it's not just the United States, although we do have some donations that benefit people in the United States, but our different options can benefit people in Haiti and Kenya, Tanzania. And we recently had one of our customers purchase a sheep for a family in Tanzania. So that was really exciting.
And those items are funded by Mobrium. So we, from the very beginning of launching this company, we wanted to make a positive impact in the world. And we felt that this program, Mobrium Gives Back, was a way that we could start doing that now and have it scale up as we grow. So we set aside a percentage of our profits from every client that is onboarded. And then we say, hey, you guys are using our services. Why don't you decide where this money goes? And they get to use their credits that way. So Krista's done an awesome job getting it all systemized, and it's been fun seeing things actually like donations start to come through and go out to people who need it. So pretty neat.
Yeah, it's something that we're passionate about, and like Matt said, we wanted to systemize that from the very beginning, even when we weren't even really making money. So we wanted to be able to give back.
Yeah, and a couple other things that we've been up to. We talked about our sales focus. We've been able to go to a few HR related conferences, which has been pretty cool. I was selected to go to the Bellagio Hotel in fabulous Las Vegas. That was in April. So we did the Epic HR conference there. We've done the local state of Utah SHRM conference, WeCon. We've had a couple other incredible chapters that have invited us to come and participate. So shout out to the Bridgerland chapter here in Cache Valley and the Northern Utah HR Association. Both incredible groups. Very happy that we could collaborate with them on some training material. And we've also done some social media outreach, some targeted outreach based on some research of what companies in different industries and segments could benefit more, or which ones are responding more to our offering. So we've been learning a lot. One of our company values is nimble. Our entire company value theme is SHINE, SHINE, service, harmony, integrity, nimble, and expertise. But N for nimble is challenge the status quo, decide and go. So a lot of what we do is just testing things and see what works, and then learn from it, try to fail quickly for less dollars, preferably, and then move on with what we learned. So that's definitely informed a lot of what we've been doing on the sales side, for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure many people would look at what we've done and think that, we've made some mistakes or put our money where it maybe didn't matter. And that may be true, but we have learned so much. And I don't think that you can completely avoid spending on the wrong things. So
yeah, that definitely happens. And then a couple other things we wanted to hit on today was where we're headed with the company. We've got some incredible software enhancements. We've gotten in a rhythm. Yeah, that's an ongoing thing. Everybody in software knows that you have a roadmap and it can change, but you want to incorporate feedback from the users to better deliver the experience that everyone is seeking. But we've gotten into a good system of a monthly cadence of reviewing what we've done and reprioritizing what comes next. So we're really excited about some upcoming things that we'll be able to roll out officially. And then Mobrium Academy, Krista, you want to say what that is and remind me what I need to get done?
So Matt, he learned so much at the last two organizations that he worked at, and through writing his book. That was a huge learning process. And now he just wants to make that knowledge available to our customers. We want them to be empowered to do the most with their reputation. And so Mobrium Academy is going to fulfill that. It's going to provide I think we have 4 different modules that we're going to be putting out that will help you optimize your online reputation.
Yep. So it's the first of its kind. This is an employer reputation management training. And upon completing Mobrium Academy, you'll get a professional certificate of completion to showcase your newfound skills and expertise. And we'll definitely have a promo when that comes out. So make sure you follow Mobrium on LinkedIn so you can hear about when that's completely finished. I have finished the content, and Krista's reminded me that I need to finish up the project. But what we're doing is adding it to an online, like Coursera type software, so that it's really easy to track your progress through the material and do a couple questionnaires to make sure you're remembering the information. And it's not super long. Like, I anticipate it'll be probably a 6 to 8 hour time commitment for the whole thing, but that's essentially learning an entire discipline that intersects between company culture and branding. And so if you're on the marketing side of things, this is going to certainly give you an edge and a view into kind of an untapped, from what we've seen, untapped segment of branding that can enhance what you're already doing. And if you're on the HR side, then this is helping you get a little bit more reach onto the marketing side of how to showcase a stronger employer presence and reputation online, which can strengthen culture from the outside in. So definitely excited about Mobrium Academy.
Yeah, and obviously our software is designed to make optimizing your employer reputation really easy and automatic. But the skills that we want to provide you with and our customers with are really to help them with every little piece that you'd honestly probably don't even know about. That's why we're the first in this space, is because it's kind of an untapped thing that is really going to help companies.
And I just want to make one point there, because I've talked to a lot of companies, and when I mention we're the very first in the space, sometimes I get the rolled eyes reaction of like, yeah, everybody thinks they're the first and whatever. But so here's the story. As I was writing the review cycle, I indexed over 1,000 content pieces from over 50 different reputation management companies. And that helped me reverse engineer the content of the review cycle to be more evergreen, to be more foundational on the principles of strategy that could apply to any type of reputation program, whether it's product reputation and customer reviews, brand reputation and company reviews, or employer reputation and employee reviews. It's all very similar with some little nuances. But that practice, or that study of going through and indexing all this content from all these different companies, gave me a really good look at the landscape. And I was able to start to see themes of different areas of focus that these different companies had. And that's where the epiphany moment happened. I found that there was not a single company servicing the employer reputation niche. There were companies servicing hotel reputation, restaurant reputation, brand reputation, product reputation, but no one was focused on employee reviews on sites like Glassdoor, Indeed, and Comparably and InHerSite. And since our passion lies in company culture and helping make work awesome and reputation, those two pieces, like, that is the literal intersection.
Yeah.
And so that's why we decided to build our business upon the foundation, the research of the book, but in this specific vertical, which is employer reputation. So,
and what are some of the things that people can understand of, I guess, the end result that they get from using Mobrium or from optimizing their employer sites?
So tons of companies are operating under an artificially throttled employer reputation. Their ratings and reviews are way lower than the reality if they were to simply collect more feedback. And what that does is it's giving them less candidates per job posting than they're really entitled to, and where they would get if they simply had a better reputation. And it's artificially increasing turnover, because people go look up your own company on Glassdoor and these other sites, and they see a 3.0, and they say, oh, this other company over here is a 4.4. I don't know what that company's like. I've never worked there, obviously, but I know what it's like here. And if this is a 3.0, then that has to be better. And they're making that judgment call based off of, the data that they have access to, and that shapes perceptions, and that shapes behaviors. And I hear from CEOs and other HR executives all the time that, oh, we don't care. We don't care if we have a low CEO rating or a low star rating. We know we're good. We know we're good people. We know we work hard, and whoever wants to come here because they know they can grow with us, they'll come here regardless of that. And that may be true, but would you buy the 3-star vacuum if there's a 4.5-star vacuum on Amazon? Would you go to the 3-star restaurant when the one right next to it is 4.5? Like, just think about your own consumer behaviors. It applies to this space as well. And it's simply illogical to say, well, we're good, so we're good.
We've definitely seen companies that have poor ratings, but they are good companies. And if you go and you talk to somebody at that company and get an honest, experience of theirs about where they work, yeah, you can see, oh, it's a good company. But how many people get to have an insider scoop? Every job posting can't be filled by word of mouth. And where we live in a world of people moving to fulfill jobs and having a more broad pool of candidates and hiring the best talent for each position, this is what's going to tip you over the edge and get those applicants.
And not to mention, more people can work remote. And so that means the ease of changing jobs is greater. And so your talent is less secure with you. If they're really good, they could work for just about anywhere and stay exactly where they are and keep their lifestyle and just change you, just get a different employer. So we're already seeing some great results for our clients, and we're excited to work on some case studies that will be shared publicly soon. That's an ongoing project that we've got happening right now. But if you are interested, we do a free employer reputation audit. So even in no commitment, we'll actually do a report of how you're showing up right now and give you a scorecard. And you'll be able to see the impact on your recruiting, your retention, how it's impacting your profitability. And it even comes with a 12-month forecast of where you could expect to see things next year. So that's a pitch. I mean, we don't want to get overly salesy in the podcast. This is a conversational thing for us. It's been really fun. I think we also need to kind of celebrate that this is episode 30. We've had a lot of remarkable interviews and have met some really cool people, and we're so grateful for every single one of our guests. And for everyone that's listened, it's been really cool to see people are actually tuning into this, and we're just normal people like everybody else, and just excited to have some conversations around company culture and trying to make work better. So
that's right. And it's made possible by Mobrium, and that's why we get to be doing this. And it's been a joy to meet everyone who's been interviewed on our podcast, and we would love to hear from our listeners. So please comment on our posts on LinkedIn. And if you want to leave a review and provide us with some feedback, let us know what other topics you'd like us to cover. That'd be great.
Yep. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning in to the Culture Profit Podcast and for being a part of our journey to prove that putting people first is best for business.
Today's episode was sponsored by Mobrium.
Want to get more employee reviews and streamline your employer reputation? Visit Mobrium.com.
Now go find one way to prioritize your people and watch your profits grow.